it would be a much more mild dilemma if humans yearning for the approval of others were as recent as Facebook. Things that are very recent are very easy to undo. But the yearning for the approval of others, the sense of, oh, what's this one going to say about me? What's that one going to say about me? That's been going on long before there were likes or follows on social media. It's been going on long before we had any of the technology that we have today. The concept of knowing who I am, of an identity, is of core importance to us. The crises that we face, when you talk about identity crises, the crises are all about who am I? And when we don't know who we are, we look to the outer world to tell us. And so craving people's attention, craving people's approval, it's not just so much that they should like me, it's that I am what people think of me. Look for a moment at this. The question raised the issue of social media, so let's take it a step farther. Look at this craze of selfies, okay? Because it gives us a lot of insight into actually what it is that is propelling this. Now, long before selfie sticks were invented, you could only get that phone as far away as your arm, which means you can't get it very far away at all. Which means if you look at selfies that are taken without a selfie stick, what is the vast majority of the frame taken up with? Your face, right? Face of the person taking the picture. Now, here I am at the Eiffel Tower. Here I am at the Grand Canyon. Here I am at the Taj Mahal. And what are you seeing in the frame? My face. Here's my face with a little bit of steel behind it. Here's my face with what looks like a little bit of brown dirt behind it. Here's my face with what looks like a little bit of white marble behind it. That's me at the Taj, at the Grand Canyon, at the Eiffel Tower. Pictures of my face. Now, you take it a step further. After we've taken the selfie, it's never enough to just take it. The point of selfies is not to fill up my phone with lots of pictures of myself so that I can just look at them all the time. The point of selfies is, what do we do with selfies? We post them, right? Of course, we post them. We send them to people, we share them. And when we post them, what do we want? Likes, comments, exactly. Now, it's really interesting when you look at the psychology of that, okay? Because what you've got is perhaps the most oddly composed artistic image ever. Because, of course, taking a selfie, as any good photographer knows, you can't actually even get the proper angle, the proper lighting, the proper way. So there's no selfies that are actually beautiful portraits of the self. The face is always at some weird angle. Some part of it always looks way too big. Some other part always looks way too small. The lighting is always off because your hand is right there blocking the light, creating the shadow. So they're not even good artistic images. You can't actually actually see the Taj or the Eiffel Tower or the Grand Canyon because my face is blocking it. What is it that's going on? Because then when I post it, it's all about the likes and the comments. And if we post a selfie and you don't get any likes, like nobody comments, it's anxiety producing. I mean, people keep checking the phones. Why is nobody commenting? What? And you realize what it's about has nothing to do with my ability as a photographer. It has nothing to do with my beauty, because if it were all about beauty, I would get someone who actually could take a good picture, and I would say, now get me in my right angle, get me in the right way, take a good picture. So it's not about my skills as a photographer. It's not about my beauty, because I know that this selfie has distorted my face. It's not about actually showing people the scenery where I am. It's all about this drive for our existence to be validated by the world. If I take a selfie and lots of people like it and comment, oh, phew, I exist. I take a selfie and post it and no one likes it or comments. It's that anxiety of, well, didn't anybody see it? Doesn't anybody care? Meaning, don't I exist? And this is what's at the core of wanting people's approval, of caring so much what other people think, because if I don't know who I am building who I am out of the bricks of how you respond to me. So you look at me with love, well, I get to put the worthy of love brick in the temple of self-identity. You say to me, oh, you are so beautiful. I get to put the brick of beautiful in my temple of self-identity. You say to me, you are horrible and awful. And I put the brick of horrible and awful, the brick of shame, the brick of not enoughness, not rightness, in that temple of self-identity. And so I need you to approve of me, because those are the bricks with which I am constructing my sense of self. And so when it starts to look like a life or death matter to get people's approval, when people around us seem to care in a way that doesn't make any sense to us, what the neighbors think, what so-and-so thinks, what... Realize it's not about that person. It's that that person is a brick. And of course, the people who are close to us are bigger bricks. It's not a temple of self-identity with all equally sized bricks. We all decide who we're going to give the big bricks to. So usually the big bricks are parents, right? You had parents who said you were wonderful, you're divine, you're worthy, you're whole, you can do anything, be anything. That's a great brick. A pillar of a sense of self. But you have parents who in their own struggle to be young parents and figure themselves out and their lives out at the same time weren't able to give you that. You end up with a big brick of not enoughness, a big brick of not rightness, a big brick of should have been something else-ness. And this is where it matters so much to us. But of course, the solution is not, I need to surround myself with people who tell me that I'm beautiful and worthy of love and good enough and smart enough. And Because that just limits my freedom. That limits the people I can be with. It limits the places I can go. It limits what I can do. Because if I need to do well to feel good about myself, well, I can't take any risk. I can't learn anything new. I can't make an utter fool of myself. Because, oh my God, then people are going to laugh at me. And the temple of who I am is going to crumble. And so I actually end up being stuck and in my own jail. And so it's really important that we become self-evident to ourselves. That it's not about what do other people say and do. It's not how do other people look at me. It's not I'm worthy because someone says I'm worthy, someone approves, someone likes, someone loves, someone follows, someone comments. It's I'm worthy. Because who I am is divine. Because that, of course, creates the other problem. If you start saying, well, I'm worthy because I'm generous, I'm kind, I'm good, I'm honest. Well, then on the day that I'm not so generous, on the day that maybe I wasn't as kind as I could have been, or as honest as I could have been, I'm not worthy. So the goal is not substitute the bricks of other people saying you're worthy because of what you do with bricks of my own worthiness because of what I do. But it's a substitution of worthiness based on what you do to worthiness based on who you are. Worthy because I am divine. Worthy because that creator, that power of creation, that energy, that consciousness, that love that makes flowers blossom and trees give fruit and rivers flow and caterpillars become butterflies and all of that extraordinary, the energy of the universe is within me. I am that. When we chant so hum or aham brahmasmi or any of these beautiful little mool mantras, you can say, foundational mantras, what do they all mean? I am God. I am that. Not that all of divinity all over the world has left everywhere else and has coalesced only in this 5'3" being. Not that I've somehow sucked the divinity out of the rest of the world and it's all now here. Not that my awareness of my divinity has made me less aware of others' divinity. Rather, it's the opposite. The awareness of who I am gives me an awareness of who others are. Because if I'm divine, so are they. And so this is where the only solution to constantly needing other people's approval, to that social media anxiety, that stand up in front of the class and do a math problem on the board anxiety, that fear of public speaking anxiety, that all of that afflicts us. The solution to it all is the same. When you know who you are, even if people laugh, even if people criticize, even if people condemn, even if people ignore, the temple of self-identity doesn't crumble. Because it's not made of those bricks. It's made of bricks of truth.